Welcome to the Unit 3 of Section 2, the unit dedicated to the engagement of visitors. We know very well that part of the quality of any experience, and especially a tourism and cultural experience, depends on the role played by visitors and their contribution to the formula. This has also to do with how those who promote the destination are able to engage visitors in a fruitful and synergic way with the concept of the experience they are planning and its expected benefits. Having that said, the driving question for this unit is how can marketing engage tourists to visit destination? We approach this question paying attention to some recent trends, bringing insights on technological and digital domains. In particular, we are going to explore four main topics: what a digital communication ecosystem is, what we mean by funnel marketing and why social media are so important nowadays, the difference between above the line, below the line and through the line communication techniques, but also their possible synergies, and one of the most recent topics about visitors' engagement, the use of artificial intelligence-based technologies. Let's start. If the communication ecosystem is the whole set of tools and communication environments that enable everyone to connect and collaborate with anyone in the ecosystem, the digital ecosystem takes into account the digital tools and platforms. This image comes from visually and enables us to understand in a glimpse what happens each 60 seconds on the internet. The numbers per channel and type of contents posted and shared is truly impressive and grows exponentially over time. But what can we point out in all this? One aspect is that the digital ecosystem is an environment of primary importance for conveying marketing campaigns and is increasingly so, also thanks to the fact that digital channels allow faster market coverage and penetration. That means how many target recipients I reach and in how much time. The digital ecosystem does not present particular barriers to entry. Almost anyone with even basic knowledge of communication tools can open a channel on the internet and start posting and sharing contents. The result is that the ecosystem is populated by professionals, but also by many non-professional actors. This brings with it an overexposure on the part of the recipient compared to the contents that are present on the web, and a greater complexity in identifying quality contents and the authoritativeness of the source. Another consideration is that in the digital communication ecosystem, users also play a fundamental role. They can actively and personally access the contents through various touch points that the broadcaster makes available. In fact, we speak of multi-channel or even omni-channel communication precisely because of the multiple and coordinated use of the various channels. Furthermore, users can contribute not only to conveying the contents of communication but also to their creation. For instance, in the fields of social media, UGC, user-generated contents, represents an important part in the storytelling of a brand and in the mechanism of evaluation and purchase choice of other users. We can also say that social networks are themselves ecosystems within which users converge and share their opinions, experiences, and advice. In analytical marketing, conversations on social media are carefully observed and listened to, because they help marketers to segment the market and profile the typical customer. A final consideration on this slide. The user's contribution also goes towards the direction of the co-creation of content and value of the company, in our case, of the destination and of those who promote it, or if not, in the creation of diffusion of this value through fake news and haters, which can lead to real media crises. We said that social media are an important part of the digital communication ecosystem. Let's have a further insight on them. This figure shows the geographical distribution of social media users in 2023, but also the growth rate compared to the previous year, the percentage in brackets. What emerges in a very concentrated distribution in some regions of the world and different growth speeds of users by area. Let's try to go into more detail thanks to the data provided by eMarketer, in particular on the importance of social media from the point of view of geography and the characteristics of their users. As for the social media users, data tell us that the number of users worldwide in 2023 is more than half of the entire population of Earth. It is a phenomenon that cuts across age. 92% of the internet users are in fact aged between 16 and 64, and they visited or used social networks in the past month. Globally, people spend an average of 2 hours and 26 minutes per day using social media, but we know that in many cases the time spent on social media is far longer. As for the distribution of users per region, data tell us that almost 60% of the world's social media users live in Asia-Pacific region, 10% in Latin America, 9% in the Middle East and Africa, 7% in Central and Eastern Europe, while 60.7% live respectively in North America and in Western Europe. The Philippines is a country with the greatest social media penetration among internet users at 98.6%. Asia-Pacific is the largest region for users in the world. It will also see the greatest social network user growth this year, at 2.7%, soon after the Middle East and Africa region, with 3.6% of growth rate. Finally, as for the age and attitude of social media users, data tell us that 82% of the total US population aged 12 and up is using social media. Social media are preferred to search engines for brand research. 50% of internet users aged 16 to 24, for example, use social networks compared to 46% who use search engines. Influencers are also key. As a matter of fact, 40% of social media users follow influencers and 30% have made a purchase after seeing an influencer post. This was an attempt to provide a glimpse on the state-of-the-art of digital ecosystem and in particular on social media and its users. But let's remember that the situation keeps on evolving and with it data. The previous slide demonstrated that social media are key. From our point of view, social media are powerful communication tools to interact with diversified targets as well as to co-create value and monitor market trends. But which are the most used social media? We know that each social media offers a specific interaction environment for specific users. Understanding the differences between media allows those who must convey their offer to intercept demand needs and monitor market trends. The Social Insight infographic illustrates the most used social media for marketing promotion in 2023. In the lead, we see Facebook, 93%, followed by Instagram, 78%, and so on. Proceeding clockwise, we have LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and Snapchat. We can compare this data at a global level with those of Statista.com, dated January of this year. In this website chart, we see that there is correspondence of preferences on social media between the two infographs. But in this second case, the growth of some media for use is faster. That's the case of Instagram, LinkedIn, and especially TikTok, which has gone from a very young audience to a broader user base by age group. We need then to bear in mind that the type and level of use of social media changes greatly depending on the geographical context. This is the case of China, for example, where the most widespread social media platforms are WeChat, Youku, and Weibo. WeChat is a multiple-purpose app for messaging, social media, and mobile paying. Youku is a video and online streaming service similar to YouTube. Weibo is a microblogging website which is growing very much in number of users. Till now we saw how social media platforms are distributed in the globe and how much they are growing in terms of usage. With this slide, we understand that social media are also an important component in the funnel marketing strategy. What's funnel marketing? Funnel marketing is a model highlighting the stages of a customer's relationship with a business. It analyzes through the metaphor of a funnel all the steps of the transformation from user to customer, or more simply, all the steps that lead a user to a conversion. This conversion is composed by 4 main moments on which the funnel marketing is activated: raise awareness, feed interest, arouse desire, that is intent plus evaluation, and call to action, that is about purchase decision. For each moment or phase, actions are taken by marketers and also social media are activated. During the awareness phase, the goal is to cover as many users as possible through a marketing strategy and its communication tools. The lead generation takes place when users show an interest in your product or service. Then a member of the sales team follows the users up. Now you have an outbound lead to nurture and 2 moments to take care of: feed the interest and drive to consideration. Even if the users are not ready to buy, they are now aware of your business. During the lead nurture, the marketers need to keep the relationship and the interest of the users alive in order to drive them to consider the offer between the purchase alternatives and motivate the final choice. To do that, a one-to-one approach is adopted with direct interactions. The 4th moment is that of conversion, which is about action and sales. Here, the users know you well, evaluate your offer, and make a decision. In positive case, this means that the users become your customers, buying your product, and that they can also become your ambassadors, running a positive word of mouth on their personal social networks. We call this proselytism. The funnel representation is useful also to see how the number of users is indirectly proportional to the progression along the funnel and how, on the contrary, the depth of the commercial relationship and the user's level of engagement are directly proportional. Translated, the more you go along the funnel, the lower the number of the users, but the higher the level of their engagement. Another aspect to consider in our communication to involve our visitors is that the distinction between techniques that are above, below, and the line or halfway. The ATL, above the line communication, is characterized by being substantially generalist and traditional. ATL represents traditional marketing channels that strive to reach a mass audience with messages that reinforce the brand, communicate product information, or incite an emotional response. ATL usually encompasses TV, radio, print advertising, outdoor advertising, called also OOH, out of home advertising. The BTL below the line communication, on the other hand, is usually more target-oriented and unconventional. The BTL represents methods aimed at establishing a relationship between a brand and an individual consumer. The aim is here to create relationships between brands and individual consumers. BTL typically incorporates direct mail, event marketing, interactive marketing, promotional marketing, etc. to reach its targets. In promotion, BTL can also be short-term and following a push strategy, also using non-conventional communication techniques such as guerrilla marketing and other techniques. For all these reasons, we consider BTL usually more target-oriented and unconventional. Finally, the TTL through the line communication uses both above and below the line techniques, but at different times and in a synergistic way. It is also called bivalent communication. The TTL refers to an advertising strategy involving both above and below the line communications in which one form of advertising points the targets to another form of advertising, thereby crossing the line. For instance, the campaign might use a generalist channel like mass advertising on TV to invite later the interested customers to visit the specific point of sale where they will find dedicated promotional initiatives and advantages. Which one to use then? ATL, BTL or TTL? Once again, the key answer is it depends. It depends on what I want to communicate, to whom, with what objective, and producing which effects. Among the BTL techniques, we find guerrilla marketing. It is a set of unconventional communication techniques which aims to attract the consumer's attention to obtain maximum visibility with minimum investment by exploiting word of mouth and the media interest that is generated around stages, actions. In guerrilla marketing, noise can be an asset. Going to its peculiarities, we can say that it takes an ambush to the receivers, hence its name. It plays in an unexpected way with the encoding of the message, its decoding and its context. It transforms noise into a key part of the communication. Surprise and innovation are key points, and it takes also place both online and in online contexts. As for the expected effects, we can say that guerrilla marketing aims to produce greater attention and interest in the receiver, for sure, selective retention and greater connotation, and this is really useful in order to gain a stronger positioning in the mind of the receiver. But also more lasting memory, and this can help when tourists have to decide which product or destination to choose for their next holiday. But also activate a positive word of mouth, and this implies a larger coverage of the market and a higher sell opportunities. And finally, greater and faster coverage of the objective target, and often with a lower budget. Here we have some examples of guerrilla marketing techniques: installations, happenings, stickering, body rent of news at exhibitions and fairs, and stealth marketing, when planned teasing and fake news are published and lately denied. The goal is to produce a buzz, a reaction, a word of mouth on the object of the communication that might be a product or a place. It is evident how in some cases the dedicated budget is really low. The next slides give us 3 additional examples on how to engage visitors through guerrilla marketing communication. In this first example, we are at the central train station in Milan, and thanks to a trompe-l'œil, passers-by are amused by the unexpected typical mountain landscape. They play with it, take pictures, post and share them on their social networks, spreading the message. In addition to surprising passers-by, the video of the event received more than 30,000 views on YouTube in a very short time. This is a second example showing how we can interact with the external context in a creative way, adding value to our message and driving the receiver to a more effective decoding process. The V&A Museum of Children in London launched its campaign with the payoff "See the word through a child's eyes." The stickers dialogue with the context, the city, the wall, the asphalt of the road, the manhole. In this third and last example, technology favors and reinvents the direct relationship with passers-by within the promotion of the alpine destination, Vrien. We are in Switzerland, and at the point of a heavy traffic in the Zurich train station, there is a totem. At first glance, the totem seems to propose a video. In reality, passers-by soon realize that the totem contains a monitor for a live video call with a mountaineer connected by Vrien in real time and with whom it is possible to interact live. Furthermore, the totem issues the train ticket to reach the mountainside where the mountaineer is located. The fact that any passerby actually reaches him is demonstrated by the video call and the greeting that the people of the two environments, the city and the mountainside, can exchange. The interaction is filmed and spread virtually across social media and video streaming channels, making the campaign a success. Let's have a look to the promotional video of the Vrien initiative.
Guten Morgen. Allegra. Willkommen im Bündnerland. Ja, guten Tag, schöne Frau. Guten Morgen.
Morgen, Bro.
Hallo.
Hey, Allegra. Ist kurz Zeit? Ja, du. Hallo.
Oh. Hallo.
Dat is ook een leuke boodschap, zo, ja. Jolalaloid.
Darf ich einladen?
Ja, mach ich mal.
Ja, was wäre ich da, Freund? Einladen, das Billett draussen.
Echt? Okay.
Oh, jetzt ist es gut.
Ja, das ist gültig heute.
Nur heute.
Heute habe ich nicht Zeit.
No, I'm saying come zu ihm.
Jetzt gerade.
Das ist ein bisschen spontan. Danke vielmals.
Jetzt müsst ihr einfach auf den Zug.
Okay. Tun Sie mit meinem Chef reden?
Ja, da muss doch geschwind anrufen. Das ist nicht so wichtig mit dem Chef.
Ist gut.
044.
446.
Siebenmann, der kommt heute Nachmittag nicht in die Schule. Dann kann ich auf die rechnen.
Ich weiß es nicht.
Das ist mit Kinderkrippe da. In einer Viertelstunde fährt der Zug.
Shit.
Das haben wir gerade noch.
Also dann bis nachher.
Ja, dann kommen wir.
Ja, ist gut.
Bis nachher.
Also wir kommen.
Hey, super. Ja, das ist super.
Tschüss.
Hey, ciao. Ja, hallo. Hey, willkommen.
Hallo, danke.
Wo reisen?
Ja?
Ja, das ist gut. Hey! Perfect.
We conclude this unit on engaging visitors with an insight on artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is one of the most recent fields of application and technological development in the tourism fields, and its impact on the creation of value in the visit experience and the role that the visitor can take on. AI is a theory of and development of computer systems able to perform tasks normally requiring human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision-making, and translation between languages, or reason, discover meaning, generalize, or learn from past experience. In their research, these scholars investigated what are the factors affecting value co-creation in tourism and the role of AI, artificial intelligence. Among the AI-enabled factors, there are services like service robots, AI-enabled self-service kiosk, chatbots, metaversal tourism, and new reality, but also machine learning and natural language processing. All these technologies do influence the value co-creation process in tourism sector. These AI-enabled technologies increasingly interact with the customer-based factors that are customers' perceptions, attitudes, trust, social influence, hedonic motivations, and also anthropomorphism and prior experience. Combining the human factor with technology is an exciting front, full of opportunities and challenges for today's marketers. For those who want to read the article, I remind you that it is among the further information materials of Section 2 of this course on our INCULTUM platform. But just to have a quick application example, here we have the Arapacis monument located in Rome, which was able to increase and qualify its visits thanks to AI. Thanks to a viewer, like it could be an Oculus, the visit is more immersive and engaging. The visitor is in fact can see the physical monument enriched with 3D reproductions that integrate the current state of the site with what it must have been in the past. And as a visitor observes, he can access additional information and animations that expand his knowledge. The experience results more engaging, impressive, stimulating, satisfying, and also inclusive. Fine! We have reached the end of this Unit 3 of Section 2, the unit on engaging visitors. This slide wraps up the 4 main points we have seen: the digital communication ecosystem and its tools and channels, funnel marketing and the use of social media, above the line, below the line, through the line communication techniques, and the use of AI-enabled technologies in enriching the tourism experience. I hope you found interesting and useful the contents of this unit. Remember that in case you would like to get into more detail with the topics we covered, you can find a selection of further information materials on our INCULTUM platform. Thank you and see you on the next section.